The Quran, the holy book of Islam, is believed by Muslims to be the word of God as revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. It addresses a wide range of subjects, including guidance on personal conduct, societal norms, and natural phenomena. One topic that has garnered significant attention and debate is its stance on evolution. In this essay, we will explore what the Quran says about evolution, considering various interpretations and scholarly perspectives. The Quran also provides accounts of the creation of the universe, the earth, and the development of life, prompting a range of interpretations regarding its compatibility with the theory of evolution. Some scholars argue that the Quran's descriptions can be interpreted in alignment with evolutionary principles, highlighting verses that emphasize gradual development and change in the natural world. Others maintain that the Quran's narrative of creation reflects a divine and miraculous origin distinct from evolutionary processes. Additionally, the Quran's emphasis on the importance of seeking knowledge and reflection has spurred discussions on how this relates to scientific discoveries and theories, including the concept of evolution. The essay will delve into these diverse viewpoints and explore the implications of the Quranic perspective on evolution in the context of contemporary debates and understanding. The Quran's creation narrative. The Quran presents a creation narrative that is distinct from the theories of evolution proposed by modern science. It describes the creation of the first human, Adam, as being fashioned from clay and then imbued with the divine breath of life. The Quran also emphasizes the uniqueness of human beings among all of God's creations, highlighting the responsibility and stewardship entrusted to them over the earth and its resources. In Surah Al-Mu'minun, the Believers, the Quran describes the creation of Adam and highlights the proximity of the human being to the divine, stating, "We created man from an extract of clay. Then we made him as a drop in a place of settlement, firmly fixed. Then we made the drop into an alaka, leech, suspended thing, and blood clot. Then we made the alaka into a mudga, chewed substance." Jude 12-14. This narrative portrays a direct and intentional creation of humankind by God, distinct from the gradual processes described in evolutionary theory. The Quranic narrative of creation, with its emphasis on Adam's unique origin and the divine bestowal of responsibilities to humanity, highlights a fundamental difference between the Islamic perspective on creation and the scientific theory of evolution. Scholarly interpretations. Islamic scholars have offered diverse interpretations of the Quranic verses related to creation and human origins. While some hold a literal view of the Quranic account of creation and reject the concept of human evolution, others advocate for a more metaphorical understanding that does not necessarily conflict with the principles of evolutionary biology. The literal interpretation of the Quranic account of creation is rooted in the belief that the Quran provides a complete and literal description of the process of creation, including the origin of humans, and thus is incompatible with the theory of evolution. On the other hand, scholars who propose a metaphorical understanding of these verses argue that the Quranic narrative may be seen as symbolic or allegorical, making it possible to reconcile the religious text with the scientific concept of evolution. This perspective is based on the idea that the Quran's descriptions of creation are intended to convey deeper spiritual and moral truths rather than strict scientific details. These varying interpretations have led to a spectrum of perspectives within the Muslim community regarding the compatibility of the Quran and the theory of evolution, sparking ongoing discussions and debates on how these two sources of knowledge can be harmonized or reconciled. The concept of change in creation. The Quran acknowledges the concept of change and development in the natural world. It mentions the succession of night and day, the growth of plants, and the diverse forms of life in the seas and on land as signs of God's creative power. This emphasis on the dynamic nature of the universe has prompted some scholars to explore potential parallels between the Quranic concept of change and the processes of evolution described by science. Within the Quranic framework, these signs of change and development are attributed to God's creative power, underscoring the divine origin and purpose behind the evolving natural world. This alignment with the observable processes of change and development in the natural world raises questions and discussions among scholars about the compatibility of the Quranic perspective with the principles and mechanisms of biological evolution. Some scholars have sought to highlight the Quran's acknowledgement of change as a reflection of the gradual and evolving nature of the universe, drawing attention to verses that emphasize the transformative processes in the natural world as manifestations of God's creative will. This exploration has contributed to ongoing dialogue about how the Quranic concept of change and the scientific theory of evolution may intersect, offering diverse interpretations and perspectives within the Muslim scholarly community. Reflections on unity and diversity. The Quran expounds on the theme of unity and diversity in creation, asserting that God has created humanity into different nations and tribes to foster mutual understanding and cooperation. This emphasis on diversity has led some scholars to contemplate the compatibility of evolutionary principles with the Quranic message, viewing the diversity of life forms as a manifestation of God's wisdom and creative design. The Quranic verses invite reflection on the variety of life on earth as a testament to God's boundless creativity. According to Islamic scholars, the Quran's emphasis on the diverse forms of life reaffirms the greatness of God's design and His intention for humans to appreciate the beauty and balance within the natural world. The Quran also presents diversity as a means for humans to learn from one another and to strive for unity amidst differences, promoting a peaceful and harmonious existence. Furthermore, this emphasis on diversity in the Quran has sparked discussions about the potential parallels between the Quranic concept of diversity and the processes of evolution described by science. The correlation between the Quran's teachings on diversity and the intricate mechanisms of biological evolution has led to a spectrum of perspectives within the Muslim community, with some scholars advocating for a harmonious coexistence between the Quranic portrayal of diversity and the scientific understanding of evolutionary principles. These diverse interpretations and discussions illustrate the multifaceted nature of the Quranic perspective on unity and diversity in the context of contemporary debates and understanding about evolution. Conclusion. In conclusion, the Quran offers a unique perspective on the origins of life in the natural world, expressing the divine role in creation and the special status of humanity. While the Quran's creation narrative differs from evolutionary theories, scholars have engaged in diverse interpretations to reconcile these perspectives. The Quran's emphasis on change, diversity, and the intricate balance of the natural world provides fertile ground for ongoing discourse about the relationship between the Quran and the concept of evolution. The Quran's portrayal of diversity as a deliberate and meaningful aspect of God's creation prompts reflection on the parallels between the Quranic concept of diversity and the diverse forms of life described by evolutionary biology. This emphasis on diversity has led some scholars to explore the potential harmony between the Quranic message of unity amidst diversity and the principles of biological evolution. Furthermore, the Quran's acknowledgement of the dynamic nature of the universe and the transformative processes in the natural world as indications of God's creative power has sparked discussions about the compatibility of the Quranic perspective on change with the mechanisms of biological evolution. Additionally, the Quran's invitation to reflect on the signs of God's creativity in the natural world has inspired further contemplation on the relationship between the Quranic concept of change and the scientific theory of evolution, contributing to a spectrum of perspectives within the Muslim scholarly community.